Crush, Seismic, Surge. What other sodas from the 90s is Guardian obsessed with? Fresh and Buds now.
Fresh and
All right, folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Fresh and Buds. I am your host, Tommy Fresh, and you are all my buds, and we are joined by an OG, an original gangster, Mr. Taylor Morrow of the Attack Action Podcast. Once again, our first guest ever, and currently, as you're listening to this until next week, our last guest until the next one. So that's how that works. How you doing, Taylor? Welcome to the show. It's 4 years of this podcast, actually.
Which, congratulations. I was thinking about that on my dog walk this morning. What episode number is this? This is like a
208.
million. Dude, so many episodes. Great job. Congratulations to you. You do it hard mode because you do it every week, and on our podcast we only do it twice a month. And you got to find a different person to do it with too, which is nuts. So congrats, dude. That's awesome. 4 years.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse to do it, to find people, but since it is me, it's easier for me to schedule it, right? I understand like doing a podcast with other people. You're like, oh boy, so-and-so's got this going on, so-and-so's got that going on. So I think twice a month is a pretty good rhythm for you guys. And, you're the longest continuous podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not. We are the longest running Flesh and Blood podcast in history. And then until they invent time travel, you can't change that.
Yeah, that would be the first thing I'd do, actually. To stop you from making a podcast.
Yeah. Just as a joke, because you're like, well, I made time travel, I might as well do this.
Well, the butterfly effect, I mean, I would probably not even have a podcast. You were the first guest, right? So maybe I would have lost, the confidence. Who knows? That's one less friend, in my life. Bad things. So
you're right. You shouldn't invent time travel. You're right.
I have to go back. I have to go back again, and then I'll have a picture of me and you, and like you're faded out, just like in Back to the Future. And I'm like, I got to stop the other me from stopping your podcast. Oh man, it'd be a good time. I'll play Johnny Be Good at a prom, and we'll have a lot of fun.
If you have any people in your audience who are animators, we would love to see the 5-minute animation mock-up of that, please.
Oh man, that would be so much fun. Love that movie, and I love you, Taylor. And I'm happy you're back on the show. We have a lot to talk about, and one of them being the Guardian Mastery Pack, because it came out. We gotta figure out. Hey, listen, is Guardian cooked? Is Guardian back? Is Guardian unk? I don't know. I'm learning all these terms, and we'll be doing that. But before we do that, how is the pod cooking? The longest running pod there is.
The pod is cooking along. I feel like we just did an episode on kind of Guardian and Mastery Pack, inspired and that sort of thing. And I had so much fun. It was, I feel like, one of our recent best episodes that we've done. We're still with the four of us. I feel like we're now finally, after over a year of having Blake and Zane on, we're finally really hitting kind of a really great creative stride. And so that has been really fun to kind of have found that bit of the collective voice, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the pod's going good. It's going strong. I feel like I look forward to it every other week.
That's good. It's good to look forward to it. Now, here's a question about the Attack Action Podcast, if you don't mind me throwing it at you.
Yeah, throw away.
Let's say we podcasters, we live in this world of different kinds of genres or shows or cultural touchstones, right? Let's say that we all had to be assigned a kind of cultural relevance within the microcosm of the Flesh and Blood sphere. This is a pretty wild question.
Okay.
Who are you? Who is Attack Actions Podcast and who's Fresh and Buds?
Okay. You're going to have to give me an example of what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. So we'll take another well-known podcast, Arsenal Pass, right? Arsenal Pass is what I would call the 60 minutes of Flesh and Blood podcasting, right? Really informative, very successful. People look forward to it. They're like, did you hear what was on 60 Minutes this week? Etc.
Gotcha. Okay. Fresh and Buds is probably some sort of, I don't know. I know there's late night talk shows.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably one of those.
Okay.
The fun one, whatever one that is, I don't subscribe to any of them. Not with an old guy who makes old guy jokes or anybody who has some lame guests. Somebody cool.
Okay,
somebody
cool.
fun.
Thank
somebody
you.
Chilled. And then the Attack Action podcast, probably the Golden Girls.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Which Golden Girl are you?
Probably Dorothy because I teach, so, and I mean, I know Blake is the complainer, but I can be cranky, I can
certainly.
be cranky.
In a good way.
And I think I'm the tallest too out of the four of us, so Blake might be taller than me. He's kind of tall.
How tall are you?
There you go. 6 foot. 6, a little over in the right shoes. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's a good height to be. I'm like, I say
5'4".
I'm like, I'm about 5'4". Big hairy feet. Really love the comforts at home. No,
Dude, okay, wait, hold on. Because you mentioned Hobbits, I just was watching the Fellowship of the Ring extended cut on Sunday.
Nice.
I think, and or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. And I was like, I get it, dude. Like, fucking Hobbit life is freaking sweet. No wonder people were into this. Like, they have community. Mm-hmm. They have a slow lifestyle. They are constantly, apparently, partying, like drinking, smoking, and eating good. Like, this is a great life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, I was just like, I get it. Hobbits are fucking cool.
Yeah, and you also kind of get why they're like, why would Bilbo or Frodo go do any of that?
Totally. Yeah. You don't need anything. Adventure? Yeah. You're crazy.
You have everything right here. But but I am 5'4" when I wake up in the morning.
Nice.
And probably about 5'3" by the time, gravity's really hit me. So
totally. Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. Golden Girls, I'm gonna say, I don't know. Like, that's a pretty good one. But I gotta ask, I was getting a little nostalgic because you were the first guest on the pod, episode 3, I believe.
Yeah.
And I rocked solo for 2 weeks, and then I was like, I gotta bring in a pro, so I brought in you. But one segment that I did not do off the bat was the fresh faves. Yeah. I probably started that. Actually, I think I know exactly when I started. It was either in the 30s, like 34, 36. And then the first time I asked you your fresh faves was episode 50. I was like bringing you in for nice little milestones. And I asked you your fresh faves. Episode 50, that's 158 episodes ago, and the game is a lot different. Yeah, different man. Game's a lot different. Different heroes out there. And same mustache. But
that's true.
It's true. Although I guess technically you trim some of it, and then it kind of grows back. But let's not get into the semantics of it. I'm going to quiz you to see if you can remember.
Nice. Okay.
if
Okay,
you can
cool.
remember what you picked for your Fresh Faves, episode 50.
Do I get to know what
Okay.
sets are out? God.
You know what? I'll take a look right now at when it was published, and I can kind of tell you.
Okay. Yeah. We can figure that out.
We can
together.
definitely figure that out. I'm looking right now. Boom, boom, boom. Content.
See, this
Taylor
is why
Morrow.
This is why I'm a great guest, because I make it so we have to like look something up, and it makes for weird radio.
No, it
You
was
know?
very July 28th. It was almost 3 years ago. 2022. Just over 3 years ago. So July 28th, this is right
2022.
after Uprising came out.
Right after Uprising. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Taylor Morrow, on July 28th, 2022, who was your favorite hero?
I would guess I would have said Viscerai. That's probably my guess.
I would guess you'd be wrong.
Fuck.
It was Icelander. You were pretty hype.
Dang.
You were pretty hype.
Right. Icelander. Uprising. Right. Uprising. I'm just sitting here going, okay, Dynasty did not come out. Right. Yeah. I was psyched.
You
And
were.
Michael Hamilton ruined it. / made it better.
Yeah, I guess so. 3 years ago, who or what was your favorite weapon?
Dang. I don't know. I still want to say it's like a rune blade weapon, but now you've thrown me with Icelander. And did I say it was Kraken's Aethervein because that's a sweet weapon and that's kind of a hipster pick? Or did I just still pick Nebula Blade? I'm going to go with Nebula Blade because I missed on whatever the first one was.
Well, you definitely had a hipster pick. It wasn't the other one. It was Talishar.
Sick.
You were probably in a mood.
I clearly was. Talishar is cool though.
It is.
I forget
it is.
about that. I think also too. Is that around the time? Yeah, it probably is when Jesse Harper is doing his Talishar Lexi stuff all over the place, which is pretty fun.
Most likely. Sounds about right.
Fuck.
What was your favorite equipment? This one's actually going to be pretty. I would be shocked if you get this one. What was your favorite equipment 3 years ago?
I don't know. Rampart of the Ram's Head.
Alluvian
Or Grasp of the
Constellas.
Arknight. Dang it. God damn it.
All right.
I'm dying here.
You do have one Runeblade card, and it's the next one. I'll tell you that.
Become the Arknight.
Wait, well, it's the card that you throw into your deck. You're guessing
Yeah,
become
that one.
the Arknight? You're
Yeah,
close. It's Tome of the Arknight. Listen, I mean, you're...
Get me out of this podcast. Jeez. I just crushed a quiz on our podcast, and it was one of the highlights of my podcasting career. And now, from hero to zero.
No softballs here, pal. No softballs here. You know?
Hey, you know what? I am playing adult co-ed softball, and it's wonderful.
I love a good softball game. But
Totally.
not right now. Because, now that's it for the hard-hitting questions. That was kind of funny to look back at that and just like, what a period of time that was. You were definitely still very hyped about Icelander. Still had a little bit of that Viscerai love there. And then, classic Talishar thrown in there as well.
Man, what a different time. That was it wasn't cool. I mean, it was, I don't know. Rose-colored glasses. Icelander was a really fun hero.
Yeah.
One of the greatest, best designed heroes, I think. I mean, wound up being like very powerful for all of their lifetime, and that sort of thing. But, very fun. Very, very fun. Blues from the Arsenal.
And that was 2 of those 4 are not legal in CC anymore, right? Tome of the Arknights gone, if I'm not mistaken. Or did that one survive? That one survived.
You can play it. You can play that.
Wow. They just they're
Alluvian's
letting
there.
tomes?
Just Icelander.
Wow. Well,
That's it.
one day we'll get Icelander replacement. We don't know what Silver Age is, but they threw a picture of her on there for something.
I have no idea, dude. James White, I now know, does whatever he feels like because he was like, hey, you know what? We just were at this deathmatch arena. Let's just go back because I don't know. This is just how I feel right now in whatever year it was he came up with this
Yeah.
idea, you know? So
Yeah.
there's no promises. The only guarantee is he'll just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that is certainly true. Now, Super Slam, are you hyped for Super Slam? I mean, it's only
Yeah.
Brute and Guardian.
Totally. I think it's gonna be cool. I mean, look, wrestling not my favorite pastime. I was trying to name all of the wrestlers I knew, and they're from a very specific era of my childhood, and I'm not even really sure what they look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but the design of the heroes and their powers is really cool, and that's what I'm excited about, is that there's going to be these kind of different ways, which is like one of my favorite things in the game, is when we have more than one way to build a hero,
Yeah.
you know. Or a class, you know what I mean, where they have these different archetypes or play styles within that class. I think is much more fun than kind of just doing the same thing over and over and over, or whatever, you know. Which is kind of the ninja thing. I feel like ninja suffers from that a little bit, but maybe that's because that's a class I don't play, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Ninja's kind of interesting in the way that, like, you used to be able to do the Turtle Katsu thing, and that was like, am I running into Turtle Katsu, or am I running into regular combo Katsu? But I guess there's just enough ninjas now that you're like, well, how am I going to die by a billion attacks is the question.
Right.
Although Ira, I do think fairly shakes it up a little bit.
Is different. Ira's cool. That's what I was going to say. And Katsu now, I think, is running Edge of Autumn and the new gloves.
Oh, really?
Because it's a repeatable breaking scales, basically. So they can kind of threaten that, like, +1 on hit more than once a game, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. If I told you 3 years ago on July 28th, 2022, that Edge of Autumn was going to be the weapon of choice for Katsu, you would have said, get me off this podcast. But here we are.
Yeah, here we are. But yeah, I'm excited for Mastery Pack, excited for Super Slam. You know, I'm like a secret Guardian lover, you know?
Okay.
I was a closet Oldhim player for a long time. And then I've played a fair amount of Victor and Betsy just because, you know. So, yeah, I like Guardian. I was playing it yesterday at Armory, and I was like, man, this is just kind of nice. Like, all right, I'm going to block with these cards, and then I'm going to, like, oh, my Tunic resource is up. I'll save this blue and send this, like, 4 for 8. Isn't that nice? That feels good. That's a nice decision. That's an easy decision I needed to make. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, you get to block a little bit. That's always nice doing that. But we'll see. I'm excited as well. I think it should be cool. I like that we're getting some brutes that don't feel like you actually want to run wild rides for once. Like, it gives you more of a deck building kind of challenge, and I think that's going to be pretty neat. So
same thing. Yeah. Are you going crazy because of the brute action?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how I feel about KO yet.
I've been burned before.
Burned before. KO's the big question mark for me, because really neat kind of like workaround to like make you play some interesting cards in KO, right? Which I love. And then but in practice, is it going to be good? I'm not sure. Like, why not just play the other KO? I'm not entirely sold on that yet. But Tough Nut is just so cool, right? And I played against one just like in like open deck construction Towel Shard the other day, and they're running Talisman of Recompense and stuff like that. I'm like, this is just cool, and I'm getting smacked by a rock. I mean,
Yeah.
that is the kind of stuff I like to see. So I am excited, and Lyeth 5 Intellect Hero is scary, but I'm interested to see what that deck is actually going to look like. So
Totally. I also think like just the idea that you're forced to have, or not forced, but encouraged to have like damage prevention cards over cards that have defensive value, I think is just really interesting, you know?
which is hilarious because, like, on the flip side, Tough Nut's going to be running Rock, and that can't be prevented.
Yeah, totally. So, and you can kind of see that dichotomy in the set, like up front, which is nice. Which that makes me think it's going to be, you know, a fun set to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Limited wise.
Oh yeah, limited is going to be fun. Now, before we do get to Super Slam and the newest set, which is Guardian Mastery Pack, which is like kind of a set. It's, you know, a true supplemental set, I guess.
Yeah.
And we got to kind of say our goodbyes to High Seas with you, and I got to get your fresh faves for the High Seas and see how you're feeling about Pirates. First,
Pirates.
Who was your favorite hero?
I guess it's probably Gravy Bones. It's the one I always wound up drafting more or gravitating towards more. Even though I am kind of I'm a poo-poo on Gravy because of how I'm like, well, I don't really know what the necromancy part of you is other than just kind of, you know, we have loosely just having allies from your graveyard. You know, we figured out kind of mechanically how to do that, and it is one of the parts I love about this game is it feels more like the mechanics and the thematics of a lot of stuff mesh together really well. Like even loading arrows into your arsenal, like you got to pull the card back before you put it on the chain. You know, Chi, you have to like literally pick it up and flip it, you know, turn it over to a new side and then play it down, right? So you're like enlightening yourself. And I guess when I explain it that way, when you have allies in the graveyard and then they like come onto the board, is kind of like resurrecting them. But it's hard for me because they're already dead, you know?
Yeah.
They're already, they come up out of your deck dead or whatever. Anyway, with that being said, I still found the fiddliness of Gravy like very intriguing and fun, although confusing. You're like, okay, well, do I play this card or do I Gravy right now, or do I just spend the gold, or do I play this card then great? Like, how do I sequence this turn and that sort of thing? I think is both fascinating and infuriating. But yeah, Gravy was my favorite hero for sure.
Awesome.
Out of those three.
I mean, I think the first time I played Gravy in Limited and just tapped the compass, I was like, okay, this is cool to just get some more information. And then like, it's like, oh, the puzzle just got a little bit more complex. I'm sure, Dash.io technically can look all the time, but you know, it means more for Gravy, which is why it's, you know, on the tap. So,
because you can most every turn have access to that card, you know, whereas Dash.io like needs to be something specific. You're like, okay, I know what this is, but I don't really. It's like, how am I gonna spend it? Is more not like, can I then use it? You know what I mean? Like in my hand and play it. Yeah.
What was your favorite weapon?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna probably. I think my second favorite thing to play was probably the Marlin Go Wide deck with Red Spine Manta. I thought was really fun, also, to put that together and just be like, okay, I have an extra attack because I don't have to pitch. You know, the old Cheerios Briar theory is that like I just don't need this card to do anything but send damage to you, so it makes it really fun. So probably Red Spine Manta, you know, shouting out to the old Redliner from Crucible.
Yeah, and you know, making some waves with some Riptide lists out there actually. Red Spine Manta, which is pretty.
Yeah,
neat.
it is.
What was your favorite equipment?
You know, the what is it? The Necromancer head. What is that called?
Oh, the Tombstone or something? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Oh wait, there it was. God dang it. Pause 1 second. Edit this. Don't edit it. It's Headstone. Tombstone.
Headstone. I was close.
Headstone.
Was close.
At first, I like did not know how to use it. I'm like, okay, it's Battle Worn. It's good, and it's Necromancer, so I'll use it. And then when you realize there's those tiny moments where you're like, this is such a tool to get either a blue in the graveyard, or when you don't have one in hand, or to get an ally in the graveyard when you don't have one in hand, you know, those sort of things, just to smooth your turnout. I thought Headstone was just like a really smart piece of equipment to have.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. And it looks cool, too.
It does. It looks very cool.
What was your favorite card to throw into the deck?
Probably, I don't know, Murderous Rabble is pretty fun. You know, like, that's just a really fun card.
Yeah.
To be like the opposite kind of Ravenous Rabble. Yeah, just it's a cool blue. You know what I mean? Like, cool blues like that are really fun. Like Last Ditch Effort is like that. You know, at a certain game state, it becomes really, really fun, etc. So yeah, Murderous Rabble, freaking sweet. Reveal the top. It's a blue. Coming in for 3 go again, baby.
Yeah, and I've been on the receiving end of Prismatic Leyline into that, and then like 2 other things, and you're just like, oh my god,
dang.
But
get wrecked.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of my thing. I get wrecked a lot. Not to brag, I'm a big loser. But now, no, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. A little bit. All right. Let's say you were on the high seas, Taylor.
Okay.
And you were a pirate. What class would you want to be in addition to being a pirate? Because we did split dual class in this set.
In addition to being a pirate, what class would I want to be? I think when we were asked like what class I would be, I think I said like Earth Warrior before. I think I would do the same thing for Pirate Warrior. Like, I think it would just be fun to be a swashbuckler. You know, one of my favorite archetypes in D&D is to just be like a type of mustachioed, larger than life type of character. You know, so to just be like a dueling with my cutlass. You know, shirt unbuttoned. You know, seawater in the hair. Yeah, that sort of thing.
That makes sense. I feel like we're definitely being primed for a cutlass weapon at some point, right? You know, that's going to be so cool.
It's just crazy it wasn't in here.
Yeah. What would it do?
I don't know.
Come on, design a card.
What would it do? Well, it would have to be, is it a warrior card or a pirate card? Probably a pirate card?
Pirate warrior weapon, probably. Unless you made it like pirate. I mean, it could just be straight up pirate and then like a spec for the hero. Because like then it gets a little murky because then all of a sudden we can have Marlin swinging a cutlass.
Okay. A cutlass. Okay. So we're going, it's pirate warrior. We're going to say it's a 2 for 3. If it hits, make copper.
Copper, okay.
once you have, and then it just has I'm just going to put the conversion table on it too. So once you have 4 copper, you get 1 silver. And once you have 3 silver, you get 1 gold.
It's a lot of work, for very little reward, but you know what?
I mean, you can do stuff with copper.
Yeah, it's true. Still.
Maybe. No? Unless your name's Kasai.
Yeah, unless your name's Kasai. Okay, Kasai,
Pirate Kasai.
Warrior.
There we go. There we go. We did it. We solved it.
That'd be pretty neat. Now, the GOAT set. Do you have any updates on what your greatest set of all time is at this point?
Do you know what I said last time? Did I say it was Tales of Aria? I feel like that's what I said it was.
I think I do kind of remember that, but I don't actually have that info. But yeah, we'll say you said Tales of Aria. But we talked after the Hunted.
Yeah.
Right? And then now we're talking after High Seas. So did High Seas change your mind, I guess?
No, I guess it did not. I still would put, okay, so I think the greatest set of all time is Tales of Aria because of how crazy it was.
Sure.
And how crazy those heroes were, and how we're still really, I guess we're not, but like anytime you can fit any of those cards in decks, you like want to, the ones you can, like Jarl comes out and you're like, sweet, Oakenold's online. And then, you're running Entwined Lightning in like Aurora, so, and that's a Tales of Aria card.
Mm-hmm.
Flicker Wisp is in there too. So I think that just for the idea of what's the best, most powerful set. The only set to get a card banned instantly before it comes out.
Rest in peace.
It's got to be good. But then I think like just in terms of what has been fun to just play with fun characters, I would say that have hit for me. Rosetta and Junted have been really great. I really enjoyed both of those.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
For a bunch of reasons. Yeah.
Funny enough, Flicker Wisp, a great card that was not playable until Aurora, right? You could play Flicker Wisp, but you didn't. But
I think there were some like earlier builds of Briar before it became a bit more homogenized, or
mm-hmm.
that at that kind of first whatever it was, Nationals, it was in some decks.
Yeah, I think I do.
Early
the
time,
difference is like, I guess, is the combo potential is just a little bit more.
Yeah, it was better in Aurora for sure.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about the class of the minute, Guardian. We got our first mastery pack. It remains to be seen if we'll get another mastery pack for a different class at any point. We will see. I guess it depends on how this one goes. There was some talk before, is Guardian just not good enough? Guardian definitely had its day for sure with like Starvo, Oldham. But then Jarl comes out, doesn't make a huge splash, but somewhat of a splash. Prior to this mastery pack coming out, what were your thoughts of Guardian? Was it as bad as some would say?
I don't know. I think, Victor's always like pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's just better than Bravo. So nobody's playing Bravo, really, and then Jarl's kind of better than Betsy and Bravo also, They just can attack the metagame like a little bit better. It is what it is. Like, me and you have been playing this game for a long time, and things are ebbing and flowing, and we still the game's still like in its infancy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think Guardian still has like the biggest card pool, especially now with Mastery Pack, but it's like, it's like whatever. So many of those cards like we don't even play, What am I getting at? Well, what I'm trying to say is that yeah, Guardian's not like has a big meta share, and that's fine.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
think I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because every once in a while you just come across a meta where Guardian should be played, right? Like it's going to attack it at a great angle. And, I think there's some concern about this set because we didn't get a whole lot of support for the existing Guardians per se, where it's more like, hey, this is kind of the Valda set. And, we didn't even get Betsy's weapon. And I
Nope.
think,
And I'm pretty upset.
yeah,
I'm upset.
would have been a good opportunity. But listen, Valda seismic impact kind of coming into full swing now with a full actual realized card pool should be somewhat of a player here. And for those of you who don't know, Valda reads 4 intellect, 40 health, not 42, as some people had hoped. But whenever an opponent draws 1 or more cards during an action phase, create that many Seismic Surge tokens. At the start of your turn, if you control 3 or more Seismic Surge tokens, cards you own with Crush get dominate this turn. So, pretty easy. You want to make Seismic Surges, send dominated Crush attacks, overwhelm your opponent. Correct. How are you thinking Valda's going to shake up?
I think it could be good, like Gravy draws a shit ton of cards all the time, so you should get a lot of Seismic Surges that way, but does that then like actually help you because you kind of need to like kill their allies? I don't know, but the mill aspect that's kind of coming out of the Mastery Pack is like also very interesting, and to see how viable that is going to be, as a Arachnne Huntsman main, it can be impactful for sure, but it is a lot of variance too. You know what I mean? Like you could banish some of their key cards, and it depends on the deck, right? Like something like a Rhinar is really looking for blood rushes, and if you happen to like banish those, then kind of a cornerstone of what that deck is trying to do is then like gone,
Yeah.
or they don't get to do all 3, maybe they only do 1 out of 2, you know what I mean? So that like could be impactful in those types of decks. I'll just give you the big thesis here I have about, or it's not even that big, about Mastery Pack. I think, okay, so like the timeline is we hear about Guardian Mastery Pack. We then all collectively have a expectation that it's going to be a supplemental set for all Guardians, right? So everybody's going to get a little something, etc. And then they're like, okay, then it supports Crack Shuffle Play. And then we didn't switch our brains to think about, well, how can there be Victor cards in here and Betsy cards and blah, blah, like have all of these different kind of cards and then still be able to just like open 3 packs and then play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then that like really changes the product of what it is. And so the product as it is now, like it's kind of all about Valda's the star of the show here, and the cards are tailored to have that crack shuffle play experience. And then it has a bunch of Guardian cards we've already seen from past sets being reprinted. I think it's a great idea of a product when you look at it through that lens. Like, you can buy, this is $50. You can get some beers, crack shuffle play, open the cards, and just like boom, get into something very casual very quickly. I think is really cool for a product. And it's basically like self-contained. Like, if you wanted to play Guardian, here's one, and here's kind of like the thing you need to just buy. It's not, an armory deck per se, but it is just kind of like a product to get you going a little bit. So I like it from all of those aspects. I think that's really, really great. Am I bummed that we didn't get stuff for everybody? Of course, everybody wants more gifts and stuff, but I think it looks really good, and I'm excited this weekend. I already was texting the home like, hey, let's get our Gardery Master packs and get some beers, and let's just do crack shuffle play for like Friday night, so I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat thing. I like this kind of self-contained thing. I know they tried to get crack shuffle play going with bright lights. This I think makes a little bit more sense because you're not crack shuffling playing on top of already doing drafts and sealed. This is just like, let's do this. And then also, if you just want to basically get a semblance of a Valda deck, you can kind of start here, and that's pretty neat. So there are some cool cards though that will be available for all these heroes. Talk about some legendaries real quick. Testament of Valahai is an interesting one. Guardian equipment offhand. 1 defense with Guardwell, which we've seen before. When the combat chain closes, if this defended, put a -1 counter on equal to its defense. If you control 3 or more Seismic Surge tokens, this gets +2. If you control 6 or more, this gets +4. So this allows you can block for 5 once if you wanted to, or you can go 1 and then 2, and then I guess what would be the math? Then 1 again, because you would have
so you would have 1 counter on there, and then you would have 3. So then you don't even get if you have 6 surges, right? Because when it closes, put a -1 counter equal to its defense. So then you get 2 blocks out of it, not 3. But if you, right? Because that's how that math works.
Is that how the math? Okay, so 1.
So if you block 1, you get 1 counter.
Yeah.
And then if it gets pumped to 3 defense, then you would get 3 counters. So that would give it 4.
Oh, but it only get pumped to 2 because it already had the -1 counter. So it'd be 0 the second time you blocked. So it'd be getting 2 -1 counters. So you're getting 3 total. And then the third time, it would go up to 1 defense because I'm pretty sure the -1s bring it to negative below 0, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, they might. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway, you block twice with it.
Yeah. You can block a couple times.
Or 3 times. You can block with it.
Yeah,
Classic Guardian.
It has Guardwell. You can block with it as much as you want, actually. It just won't work every single time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This is pretty neat. Clearly a big Valda payoff, right? This is a really good offhand for her. Yeah. Maybe Bravo can do some stuff with it as well.
Maybe. I mean, there's some more cards that like, what is it? It's the yellow Seismic Eruption. Just create 3 Seismic Surge tokens at instant speed.
Yes.
Right? So
it
might not actually be that hard to get to 6 Seismic Surges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That could be the play going forward. I mean, Rampart's still really good. I think Stalagmite is played in Jarl.
Yeah, Ice Guardian.
Ice Guardian. So I don't know if that's really getting uprooted by this, but I could see this being played. I mean, it's a lot of value off of an extra blocking card that would not have normally been there. So pretty neat. What's the other legend? We have Leyline of the old ones. Really cool looking card. A blue 0 cost Guardian instant aura legendary. You can only have 1 in the deck. When it enters the arena, whenever you deal damage, create a Seismic Surge token at the beginning of your end phase. If you control no Seismic Surge tokens, destroy this. So you get a Seismic Surge right away, and then you got the mini game going. Can I keep this around? This card's awesome.
It is cool. It's like a different way to channel, and is also a pseudo landmark, and is also kind of like an iteration of Spirit of Irina, then Ring of Roses. Now this, I think it's freaking sweet. and that Marvel art is so cool. Like
Yeah.
I'm stoked on this card. I really like those, Pokemon does that really well. Like has a stadium out there that then is like affects the battlefield or
Hmm.
whatever. And I think Flesh and Blood is starting to explore those a little bit more, and I really like those types of mechanics, in games, that there's like a thing out here that kind of changes the drama of the game a little bit. And so yeah, this one definitely says, right, like, you got to keep a seismic surge going,
Yeah. Yeah.
super beneficial, which is
And it's
cool.
kind of neat because I think like all the Guardians could make use of this,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And that's going to be. I mean, I think it's going to be more of the chase here, the chase L, I think, than the other one. We did get one
Yeah.
generic one, right?
Yeah, the Mountain's Foot.
Yeah, which looks like it's straight out of Rosetta, but base of the
Yeah,
mountain,
base. Yeah, base of the mountain.
generic
Generic.
equipment, blade break, star defense. When this defends, banish any number of action cards from your hand and then add them to the chain link as defending cards. This card's defense is equal to the number of action cards defending on the active chain link. So, does this get around dominate, I guess?
It does,
But
but not overpower,
okay.
I think. Because
Yeah, I
then you
think
still can't defend with more than one action card.
yeah. So, this is definitely a little bit more self-contained because there's a lot more dominate within this. Um, cool leg piece
Yeah, niche,
niche.
you know, could be applicable. I mean, it's like I don't know. What's the other one? Quick dodge flexures are like, you know, good. They're also generic, also very good. One blue for six block, basically.
Mhm.
And I guess they're probably going to be better long term quick dodge flexors because, I mean, historically, we just so many decks like attacking multiple times is really good, and
Mhm.
attacking one giant time is maybe arguably less good. So those are maybe, in my opinion, maybe a little bit better than Base of the Mountain, but like it's a cool card to have.
Yeah.
Niche for sure.
Yeah, if things are getting dominated, I guess who's dominating a lot? I guess Starvo and LL, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
doing it. Azalea now and LL is doing it a lot. Hey, Riptide does it sometimes with the aim counter stuff. Just, I mean, don't play them. Don't play that against Riptide. Seems bad.
Yeah.
My humble opinion, I play a lot of Riptide. I would know, right?
Yeah.
Don't play it against me. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, these kind of legendaries that are, generic and broadly applicable throughout like the growth of the game is I think always a net positive here.
Yeah. If you pull these out of one of your boxes, are you upset or are you like, oh, cool?
I want one, right? So I'm
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
So
think
you're
I'm
like,
happy.
okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you want the ley line, right? I think.
Yeah. You want the ley line.
And the offhand. I mean, if you're plan on playing like Valda, I think you want the offhand and the ley line, and then this is just extra sauce for anybody else that's kind of interested, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think it's worth noting. Now in the Majestics, we get some Clash stuff. I don't know what exactly, like clashing is cool, right? I think that's kind of, I guess, maybe the more sauce for Victor that we're seeing. Sure, you can do it in any Guardian, but that Test of Iron Grip.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, blocks 4. If there is a winner, the other hero discards a card. That one's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's cool. I mean, I think Peck Perfect is cool too. Like anytime it defends, like you're then going to clash and then destroy a card. Like,
Yeah,
just like so hot you like can't you like poop a little and I guess I don't know. Just,
I
It's
mean,
cool.
the artwork is pretty insane. I'm not putting it up on the screen, folks, but you can see it for yourself. It's a very
Yeah, it's a
strong
family
looking.
show.
Yeah, this is a family show. Strong looking fella on the artwork there. Yeah, I always liked Clash as a mechanic in this game because a little bit of variance, but also like you're building your deck to kind of like win these clashes anyway. And then as someone who runs into the Clash decks, I'm thinking mostly of Victor here.
Yeah.
It could feel so like in game. You could feel like there's that hope they're gonna flip something.
Yeah.
They're gonna flip something that's not or I'm gonna flip something better. And you kind of run through. There's nothing in my deck that I can flip. But if they flip a nothing,
you might have like a blue 5 and then murky water flips up the top, and you're like, I get the gold. And then he's like, okay, well then I'll just pay a gold and put yours to the bottom.
Yeah. So it's such a cool mechanic. Now Valda also got a spec, which is kind of funny. I mean, like of course she's gonna get a spec, but put them in their place. This is a 6 for 10, blocks 3.
So
when this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, they discard their hand, then draw that many cards. I mean, just let's cycle through your deck. Let's get this is straight deck damage. And you almost want sometimes, I don't know, but like I feel like sometimes you might want to just send this without the dominate, because then they're like, well, I still got to give up a bunch of cards.
Totally. Yeah. You're like, okay, well, I have to give them, at minimum, a piece of armor and 2 cards. You know what I mean? So it's a cool, because if we're talking about it like through the lens of all this milling we could probably do, this is like such a cool quintessential flesh and blood way to do that, right? Like you're either gonna take a bunch of damage and just get rid of 4 cards, which is great. That's awesome. Or you have to like block with the majority of your cards, and then they're also gone. So you're like happy either way, whatever happens.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like a really cool way to do that mechanic, of mill, I guess, if we're going to talk about it. You like mill, right?
I do like
those
mill.
Guys? Yeah.
Well, I wanted Huntsman to be the real deal,
Oh,
I know that you do too. And is there okay, well, actually, I want to hit one more mill card, and then I just want to briefly touch on Arachnne Huntsman milling.
Okay.
And then we'll go to listener questions. But Leave a Dent, this one you got to be hyped for, because this is like also so sick. This is the blue 0-cost Guardian non-attack action, blocks for 3, has go again. Your next Guardian attack this turn gets Crush. When this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, destroy the top 4 cards of their deck.
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I mean, Eradicate is a hell of a drug. So, so this is basically that also, but you could just put it on, a card that attacks for 14. I mean, that's Magical Christmas Land. That you could play Pulverize and this in the same hand. So I don't even think that's possible.
Is it not? If you heave a Pulverize, how much does it cost?
Oh, okay. Then it costs 7. So then, yeah, you can do it.
You can definitely do it.
Right? Because Pulverize is 10 for 14, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Or 11, either 10 or 11. But either way, yeah, you could do it.
Okay. You could do it. Never mind. It's easy.
And listen, Valda's making seismic surges out the wazoo. So.
Oh, yeah. Pulverize probably costs 3 at this point. You're right.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah. It's free. Pulverize. I got 10 seismic surges, and then I have Dominate, and you're going to lose 4 cards off the top of your deck and take 14 and get minus -1 million to your next attack. Great. We solved it. Yeah, that deck's going to be good in the meta. Yeah.
I think, hey, listen. But
Pulverize Valda. Pardon my dog.
What does... I didn't actually even... I think your mic did a good job of just saying no dogs.
Great job.
Great job. But Huntsman, just want to touch on Arachnne Huntsman before we get to some listener questions. What does that hero need? And is there a world, like which decks need to be at the top of the meta for Arachnne Huntsman to kind of be like a dark horse that can just kind of sneak in there and do it better than other assassins?
It just has to be slow enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of the big thing there. And so like heavy hitters was fine. Like that was pretty slow. Even with KO, like doing cast bone stuff, like the deck is slow enough to where there's only a couple of like super power cards at that time that you needed to worry about, like Blood Rush, cast bones. And so most of the time, you could just like kind of either bottom those or know that they don't have any defense reactions. So you can kind of like guarantee that if you have a react, you're getting one of those power cards off the top, you know. So like high seas, like early was like not bad, but
Mm-hmm.
it just has to be kind of like a slow meta. What Huntsman really needs is a non-dagger weapon, you know.
Interesting.
Like my design idea, which I don't think is good now, but the only thing I've come up with is like a two-handed sword. It costs 3 for 2, and if it hits, you name a card, and if that card is in their hand, they have to banish it.
Oh.
And so it like doesn't make any silver or anything, but it plays off the idea that you know what the top card of their deck is,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And so and at the end of the game, like if you've tracked their pitch and what you've put down there, you like know cards they have. So then you can like kind of attack their hand a little bit more. And plus it gives you just a bit like once you get any dagger to 2, you know any assassin player knows how powerful you feel when you're coming in for 2 damage rather than 1. So that's like something I think they would need to be a real mill deck, is to have a weapon that mills, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Miller's Grindstone is very good, you know.
Let's just give
So
Arachnne Miller's Grindstone. I
there you
mean,
go.
I guess you wouldn't really win a lot
You
of
would
the
lose every clash.
clashes.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, something like that where if they could be a real mill deck, but they would need a weapon to go with it because daggers are not doing it in that
Yeah.
regard. Yeah.
I guess they are. Now, we do have some listener questions before we say goodbye, Taylor. These listener
Great.
questions come from the Buds Discord, which is free for anybody to join. It's in the show notes below. First one comes from Darth Prentice, aka Greg, who first says, "Humongous congratulations, Tommy, on the 4 years. My life is significantly better because of your silly fab podcast and all the buds I've met in this Discord as a result. Thanks times a million. Thank you. I would argue this podcast is very serious and not silly at all. We take..."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not hear the first bit of this? It was hard hitting.
It was hard
I
hitting.
was sweating.
Yeah. Taylor was messaging me on the side saying, go easy, stop, uncle.
Yeah.
But a question.
Nerd.
Yeah, I just bully people. That's my whole thing. Not being nice. Taylor, this is a question for you.
Oh yeah.
Which fab card is the most like giving Tommy fresh?
That's a great question. I wish I had looked at this earlier so I could have thought about it a bit more. I'm gonna go with okay, hold on. Let me get the name right. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna go with Pint of Strong and Stout. You know?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, just like a good time. Kind of I think you want to hang out with this guy, but you're not sure. But you know.
it could go very poorly. No, that makes sense.
What's this let's read this flavor text, see if this helps us a little bit. Life's a blink and flash for those that live on the edge. For your grim fate comes a knockin'. Why not live a little? grab a pint, drown your sorrows, and toast to the now. Fight Master Cox. That's perfect. It might as well say Tommy Fresh right there at the end.
So in my car, in my mirror, right, the thing you pull down, I have a quote up there that says, I don't know who it's from, but it says, "Do it for the story, not the moral of the story." So I think that does encapsulate a little bit of me.
Okay.
So
there you go.
There we go. There we go. I'm gonna say for you, because it was also turned on me, for giving the most Falcon of the West. And this one is tough. I did look at it earlier, and I was like, I'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah. The Falcon of the West, I feel like Ben Kenobi right now. Obi-Wan. I haven't been called that since before you were born. Which is so funny. It's just like, it's a Clark Kent, like, he just wears glasses. His name's Ben Kenobi. He's not Obi Kenobi.
Yeah.
It's Ben Kenobi. Yeah.
So I gotta think back, but when I met you on the internet, but to me it was real. You were playing a lot of Chain at the time, so I think back on your time as a Chain player. I think about the card that to me defined Chain in my experience with Chain, and that's Soul Reaping. And I'm not saying that that's you, but you definitely, I don't know. I think if you look at the art, right, of Soul Reaping, Chain's kind of like going a little crazy, right? Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think that if I ever met you, you would kind of give off the vibe of Soul Reaping. In a nice way.
That's great. I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to Philly for World, so we can hang out then.
Oh boy! Wow, is it November? November. My November just got a lot better. Holy smokes!
That's true. Mine too. That's great. I love that. I've known to stand exactly like that often. People would say that. I would say birds underrepresented in the game of Flesh and Blood. Okay, let's get more birds, especially birds of prey, into Flesh and Blood.
Yeah,
especially now that, we have the most famous bird, Polycranka, also maybe my favorite hero, actually, technically in High Seas. If I'm gonna take it back. So yeah, let's get more of those, especially since we can now perch. Let's get a freaking falconer in this game.
Like some kind of reviled warrior with like a falcon. Like, I don't know. That would be cool.
It'd be cool.
Next question, Badgeroni. What's your favorite Arachnne Huntsman card? Do you like the direction of Arachnne Marionette being a stealth character versus the OG?
Wow, these are two great questions. My favorite Huntsman card, huh? See, I'm just trying not to say Gravencall, but I'm going to say it's definitely Coercive Tendencies, for sure. That card is freaking sweet. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's a blue block 3. It also gives you a go wide turn. It also has utility in just getting you a silver when you need a silver and you don't even need to go wide. And then your opponent looks at you like, why did you do that? And you're like, dude, it's because I can now flick Gravencall and buy it back again, or buy back my shoes or something, just like you have to read all my cards. Don't give me that look, So that's my favorite card. And then do I like the direction of Marionette being a stealth character? I really like Marionette. I think that is a super cool hero. And there's a little bit of that like, this one is just more powerful than the one I love. So it is like a hard I don't know what that part of your brain is that's like, well, I just can't love you as much as this other one because you're just more powerful, or, in quotations, better.
Mm-hmm.
And like that feels dishonest to just like you better than the one I liked before just because, you're better in that way. You know what I mean? But I think it's a cool hero, like so cool to transform. You got to get the Calycera. The Calycera is super, super important also. Like all of those things make for a really fun, engaging hero to play that is like kind of hard also at the same time. I mean, I would love more contract support. I don't know what that looks like. I feel like contracts are hard to design, but stealth and contract on the same card, we saw a little bit of that. That could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's hard when they've just been like, contracts weren't as cool. We're just going to do stealth because it's easier to design that way, So I don't know. I feel like I answered that question?
Yeah,
I like
you did.
both.
You definitely did. I mean, listen. I mean, I think that we're probably. I mean, I guess I can't say this for sure based on how they like to support Assassin, but we're probably a little ways away from even seeing more Assassin support in a major way, especially with Arachnne.
One or two sets, probably Mastery Pack Assassin,
Mastery Pack Huntsman.
That'd be crazy.
Now we're cooking, and they're all just specs. Huntsman specs, not Arachnne. So,
yeah. That would be crazy.
Good question, Badgeroni. Good questions, I would say.
Yeah.
Dr. Unks comes in and asks, if you wanted to trade one of your co-hosts to Tommy to be his co-host, who would you offer up and what would you request in return?
This is a crazy question. Also, it's Dr. Unks, not Drunks. Wait, this is a family show. Yeah.
Drunks. It's both, I think, in a way.
I think so. See, this is hard. Okay. None of my co-hosts probably are going to listen to this. So I could say whatever. But then B, I will know in my heart of hearts. Something like that. See, these are like your children that are your favorite. Colin is clearly my favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I just give you, I feel like you guys would have the best vibe, but then I would be giving up my favorite child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I would need a lot from you.
Okay.
In return.
Name your price. I want Colin now.
Okay, cool. I guess, I don't know, all of your money in your house, I guess. That's probably what Colin's worth.
Okay. I'll take Blake.
Okay, you can have him for free.
I do gotta get Zane on the podcast at some point.
You do. Zane is great.
The one,
he's very pleasant.
The member that I haven't had on.
Oh, dude, yeah, you gotta collect them all.
I gotta collect them all. So
I'm doing you a solid by giving you Colin, dude. You know how chill and good your show will be with Colin?
Yeah, I do know. I mean, that buttery voice.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. We could just do like ASMR, me and him.
Counter offer.
Okay.
Those guys can keep that podcast and I just go to Fresh and Buds.
Now you're speaking my language, folks.
Yeah.
It's time to announce it. That's why I put that question in.
There we go.
Just kidding. That would be too perfect. But thanks for the question, Doc. Appreciate it. Junior comes in. Junior, classic listener of multiple podcasts. Are you worried that the snake will eventually eat its own tail and you'll borrow a bit from a podcast that originally stole that bit from the Attack Action podcast?
No, I'm not worried at all because that's just how art is, man. Mm-hmm. Like, someone inspires you, you iterate on that. Somebody inspired by that iterates on that, etc. And then it comes back around, and then you're sitting there and you're old and you're like, I came up with that. And then someone's like, no, you didn't. You're like, all right. I don't know. I'm old. I don't remember. But,
It could happen.
so there you go. Yeah. It's hard to come up with just super original ideas. Although we did have a very good quiz that Colin came up with at the end of our last episode. I won't spoil it, what it was about or anything. Just go listen to all 2.5 hours of that podcast.
Sounds good.
If you're not already.
Yeah, do it now. Dead Summer Art comes in and asks, despite being known as the Attack Action Podcast, I want to know what your favorite block card is.
That's what a great question. My favorite block card. Well, it's really hard to devoid, like block cards in Victor are so awesome. That is a drug onto itself. When you make a gold, when you trounce and you get a bunch of things and you draw the card, then is freaking crazy. And maybe that's recency bias because I was playing Victor this weekend. And I was just like, this is why you play that hero, is because when trounce happens, you go, well, now this game is totally changed. This is very fun. What are the other block cards? Should I just look up the block cards just to make sure?
You can. I'll tell you mine while you look.
Okay, great.
This one's easy. Return Fire. A new card.
Oh, dude, that one's great. That's
it's
crazy.
So good. I mean, it's not as like it's not as game changing as I initially thought it would be, but I'm still having a lot of fun brewing with that card. It lives in the sideboard though.
I would say Haunting Rendition is up there. That one's very cool because it has a modal ability on it. But yeah, I'm going to go with Trounce. Trounce is freaking sweet.
It's
Clash twice.
Yeah.
Draw
it's
cards.
The block card.
Yeah.
Like,
get a bunch of shit. Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty good. Yeah.
And our last question comes from Capolo, who asks, what's going to be your next fab-related tattoo, and why is it going to be Tommy's face on your right butt cheek?
I would actually do that. I would do, Tommy, if we're in Philly, we could do this. I will get your face tattooed on my ass cheek, and you can get my face tattooed on your ass cheek.
Okay. I got to run that by the wife, probably, but she's cool. She'll...
Okay. We could get a friendship tattoo, period.
Let's do it.
If you want to. Okay. Friendship tattoo. Done.
Boom.
You get the name of my podcast on your forehead. I'll get the name of your podcast on my forehead.
Sounds good. The full URL. So people
yeah, advertisement for sure. Yeah. My a friend of mine who also does some of my tattoos, she has like she wears like a jumpsuit when she paints. She does murals and stuff, and it has her like handle to go Google her, like .com, like on the back too, that she's embroidered back there. I was like, that's so smart, because you're out there like painting murals for like 8 hours a day, and you're like facing a wall, and people are like, oh cool, who is that? Oh, it's at murdesilva.com. Great.
I mean, that's smart. I mean, we'll be doing the same thing except with our bodies.
With our bodies permanently forever. Yeah. Tramp stamp. My next flesh and blood tattoo is coming in September.
Ooh.
So we're going to extend the Arachnne hand to like a forearm sleeve, and it's going to be a mashup of Marvel codexes on the forearm.
Come on.
Just all in black and gray. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Totally.
Thanks for the question, Capolo. And Taylor, thank you for coming back on the show. It's always fun, obviously.
Dude, totally. Yeah.
It's the best. Can you please plug everything? And thank you again.
Hey, no problem. I mean, if you don't already listen to the Attack Action podcast, get over there. It's, we do 2 episodes a month. They're super long, so it feels like 4 episodes a month. Yeah, and if, you don't follow me, I'm on Blue Sky. I don't know what my handle is. think it's at Taylor AAP, something like that. I don't know. You can find it. If you follow Tommy on socials, I also am there sometimes.
Yeah.
So I haven't been very active on social media. I've been on this whole phone detox recently where I just like I'm not really on my phone hardly ever, which has been pretty nice. I average now an hour of screen time a day, which is pretty sweet. Just on the phone. Not period in my life, but
well, yeah. But the phone one's the big one, right? An hour a day, that is honestly super impressive. I would love to get down to that. I mean, I have to do it for work, but who needs to work, right?
Who needs to work? Certainly not me. So yeah, go check those things out. You know, if you're not a part of our Patreon, you get into our Discord, which is a great place to be. There's like a lot of fun stuff happening in there, antics all of the time. It's very lovely. So
you got antics in there?
Oh, dude, yeah, we got antics on top of antics.
Holy smokes! I gotta get in on that.
Yeah.
Thank you for plugging all that. Please check out all of that stuff. Everybody can find me on Blue Sky at freshbudspod. Check out the discourse in the show notes below. YouTube, give us the old like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to any of our podcasts on Spotify, make sure you rank it like 5 stars. You can even comment on podcasts there too. Don't know how to see them, but I know you can do it. So no, I know I can see them.
I looked at that the other day and somebody had left a comment from like years ago and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I forgot you could do that.
Yeah.
So probably why we're not as successful as other podcasts.
No.
But whatever.
Number 1 in my book. And what else? Oh, Fresh Juice, an indie game podcast I do with my cousin. We are doing that weekly until he has a baby this month, and then we'll figure it out. So, you know. But food time. We got to talk about food. It's the end of the show. I know you knew you were coming on this show. You must be enjoying some good food right now.
I mean, not currently because I'm podcasting with you. But yeah, I mean, it's summertime, so I've been hitting more local eateries more often. And on Fridays, we have this big market in my city called the Friday Night Market. And it's a bunch of music, vendors, food trucks, etc. You know, so it's a great time on Fridays. Summertime here is the best. It's not too hot. And there's tons of outdoor stuff to do because of that, which is really fun. And even just urban stuff. I'm just wasting time as I try to think of like the best thing I've eaten recently that I was like, crap, that's super good. Well, just shout out to San Miguel's. They're a pupuseria, and they do a great pupusa taco. A putaco, which is really great. So you get a pupusa, any kind of pupusa you want. I usually just do a bean and cheese because then they put steak and cilantro and onions on top of that, and then you also get the quintessential like slaw on the side and some salsa, and it's just super good. Yeah, so that's kind of my go-to Friday nights at the Friday Night Market. So good.
Sounds delicious. Yeah. We don't have that in my city. I also don't really live in a city. I live in a town. It's very small.
I mean, there's maybe 30,000 people in Eureka. Like, it's a town, but it is called the city of Eureka. So
30,000. We got like 500 people, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, we got towns.
A hamlet. It's a hamlet.
It's a borough, actually. I don't, you know.
Oh, there you go.
So, hey, what do I know? But I do know we don't have time for Charmer. We'll get to him eventually. Taylor, thank you. Everybody.
Thank you.
Stay